What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is DJCS. Welcome to an all-new video here on my YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about the upcoming DLC, the Casino DLC for GTA Online. And I'm going to give you guys an honest, realistic, logical discussion on the topic because I've been watching some other GTA YouTubers videos. I've watched a lot of them recently, even some people I don't even follow, I don't subscribe to, just to see what they have to say on it. And some things that people are saying about this is just ridiculous. And like it's almost like they don't even play the game. The things that they are saying that they want, that they would like to see, that they believe is gonna happen. You know, all these things, ridiculous things. So again, we're gonna have an honest, realistic, logical discussion on the topic. If you are new to my channel and you don't know what Let's Talk is part of my channel where we talk about entertainment, TV and movies, and video games. So if you would like to see more from me, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. If you enjoy what you are watching, please drop a like and let me know your thoughts on the DLC down in the comments. With all that said and done, guys, let's talk the Casino DLC, an honest, logical, realistic discussion. Welcome back, guys. Once again, my name is DJCS, and this is Let's Talk, the Casino DLC, an honest, logical, realistic discussion. And what we're going to talk about is essentially why it's taken so long for it to come out, how I think it's going to work, and of course, the gambling, what everybody wants to know about. So basically, the reason why it's taken so long for this to come out, I'm sure you've heard this name before. If you've watched other GTA YouTubers, they talk about him all the time. Tez, aka Fun and W2, aka the quote-unquote credible leaker, who leaks out all this information from GTA, but has since stopped leaking out a lot because a lot of information because Rockstar has asked him not to, and for fear of prosecution, he has cut back. But back in 2014, he released a tweet saying that Rockstar was working on a Casino DLC and it was going to be their next big project. Obviously, that hasn't happened since 2014. So they've been working on this for quite some time, but the reason why they haven't come out with it is because of legal issues and stuff like that, because online gambling is very touchy. People put real money into GTA Online with shark cards, so you can't have people necessarily paying $100 for $8 million and then they go and they gamble it all away. That's a very touchy subject with stuff, and you have minors playing this game. Believe it or not, and it's a mature game, but we all know that they do. We hear them in the online lobbies. We know, I'm sure we know quite a few minors who play the game personally and stuff like that. But it's just an issue with the online gambling that Rockstar hasn't managed to come up with a way to overcome until recently. Now they did it for Red Dead Redemption Online. They made it so that you can play poker and stuff like that online. I personally haven't played it, so I don't know how that works. I haven't played Red Dead Online in months since it was still in beta, even before that. So I don't know how the whole gambling situation works. But believe it or not, there has been gambling in the game for a very long time now. The premium races are essentially gambling, because you're putting in $20,000 in the hopes of winning $100,000, or what is it? $100,000, $60,000, and then I think $20,000. So you're taking a gamble. You're putting or even in normal races, you put bets on who you think is gonna win. That is gambling. For the Arena War DLC, we got essentially a roulette wheel, the Arena War wheel, they call it, I think it is, where you can win like RP or money or just random different things. That is essentially a gamble. You pay a price to roll the wheel. I think it's like $5,000 or whatever, and you win whatever it lands on, a free spin, or like I said, XP or RP or money or whatever. That is a gamble. So gambling has been in the game for a while. They just haven't called it gambling. There is also the issue of certain areas not allowing online gambling, certain countries that don't allow it. So again, Rockstar had to figure out a legal way that they could do this where they themselves won't have any fallback from the online gambling. So what does this mean? Well, I've heard a lot of people say that they will have an alternative means of money in the game. like for example, the chips. But how does that fluctuate into money? Because what a lot of people are worried about is that people will buy shark cards, take that money to the casino, lose it, and be mad because they lost essentially real life money. Okay, but say we take the money that we've earned in the game, say $500,000, go to the casino and turn that into chips, and then how is that any different than because you have to get the chips somehow. They can't just say here's $500,000 worth of chips, and if you lose it, you lose it. Like, there has to be some way for them to accommodate chips and money. They can't just have, oh, well, you have these chips and you can transfer it into money, but how do you earn the chips? You have to come up with a way to actually earn the chips. And the only way that's possible is to take the funds you have and turn it into chips. Now, if they make it so that your shark card money is completely separate, that's one thing. If they make it so that you have money that you earned from shark cards, or money that you bought from shark cards, and the money that you earned from the game, and then your poker chips and stuff like that, that's a way that they could do that. But I don't think Rockstar is going to change their money system essentially. But they have figured it out, so we will just have to wait a few more weeks until the DLC comes out to see what they've done. Now, how is this all going to work? Everybody's got an opinion. Everybody thinks that it's going to be a business for us to buy, or a heist, or just an open thing where it's going to be a casino that we can just go to and stuff like that. My personal opinion, this is just a theory, this is just me speculating, how I think is going to happen is essentially we're going to have a contact, because we always have a contact with these missions, and it's going to be Martin Madrazo. He's going to contact us, tell us that he needs our help with something, and it's going to break down into a heist essentially. Normally Lester is the one who kind of runs the heist. He did the normal heist. He helped us start that up and set it up at our high-end apartment. He did the Doomsday heist and all that stuff. But I think they're going to swap it over for Madrazo, because Madrazo is more like, he fits the casino more than, say, Lester. Even though like the whole heist thing is definitely a Lester thing, but Madrazo with the casino makes sense to me personally. So he's going to contact us and essentially tell us that he needs our help, that the person who owns the casino has wronged him, and he wants us to rob the casino. By robbing the casino, the owner will have no choice but to sell, and Madrazo is going to buy the casino. So therefore, again, it sets up a heist, and it'll have like 4 or 5 setup missions, just like the Doomsday heist. They're going to be in free roam, because Rockstar loves to stick it to us like that. You'll most likely need 2 to 4 people to do the setups and stuff like that, and then 2 to 4 people for the actual heist. And a lot of people who are theorizing about the heist is it's going to be something like out of Ocean's 11. That is way too complicated for GTA Online. Rockstar love to give us great, heists and stuff like that with a story, with a background, but they don't go too heavy into detail. Like, for example, a lot of the jobs that you have to do during a heist aren't so crazy as to distract the guards and, to do this. It's, okay, this guy drives to this point, does this thing, this group does this, and that group does that. It's not going to be a small enough role where you just have to distract the guards. Or you go to the casino floor and you cause a ruckus. That's not going to be part of the heist. But that's something that would happen in Ocean's 11 while they're doing said heist. Well, I think if there is a heist, what it is going to entail is that you have one crew, say that they get in, they get the guard outfits or whatever. They're the ones who sneak in, steal the money. And then you have another crew who they're essentially the getaway drivers. You, as the security guards, you steal the money, load it up into their vehicle, and go back about your business. You act like everything's okay. And then they take the money and go to wherever they got to go. And I'm sure there's going to end up being a big shootout. There always is. It's a heist. It's not going to be as easy as taking the money, loading it up, and leaving. There's going to be some big gunfight. There's always a gunfight involved. However, after the heist is done, this is where like a paywall is going to come into play. After you're done with the heist, you can then purchase a VIP room at the casino from Madrazo, essentially. Um, and you can't buy that place until you've done the heist. And then once you're in your VIP room, you can run your own gambling stings from that room. Or perhaps, you have to buy, like I mentioned before, that you have to do this heist. You have to buy a property to do said heist, much like the Doomsday heist where we had to buy the facility, or the original heist where we had to buy a high-end apartment. Perhaps we have to buy some building, down an alleyway or whatever to do this heist for Madrazo. And then once we've completed the heist, then we can do our own gambling businesses from that property. We could run poker games or stuff like that, back alley games with our friends, or whatever. That is, that makes a lot more sense than people thinking that, oh, we're gonna. And this is another thing, guys. And I know I'm kind of all over the place, but people want to believe that we're gonna make a lot of money with this DLC. They believe that every time a DLC comes out that is surrounded by a heist or a business or something. And while generally you do make money with, like, say, the nightclub, you do make some good money with that, because the nightclub is a passive business. You don't have to be fully active in the business to make money. You could be out doing other jobs, VIP missions, selling other cargo and stuff like that, getting cargo for your CEO crates, selling your gun running, selling your biker business, running import-export, doing contact missions, whatever, while that product builds. It is a great passive business, but it takes time to actually make money with it. I think it takes like 72 hours or whatever to make over $1 million. So it takes time. And then you have like the biker business where you can make good money, but you need that's not solo friendly. You have the gun running where you can make good money with that, but it takes a couple hours to build up just one bar for you to sell by yourself for like $200 to $2,000. Like that's in a couple hours. And then you have like the import-export where, yes, you can make good money, but the most you can make in an hour from the import-export business alone is $300,000 minus the $60,000 you had to put into it, so $240,000 an hour for import-export. But people are expecting to make millions off of these things when they come out, and that's not necessarily the case. Like, they want to make millions per sale or millions per hour or whatever, and while that would be great, it is not realistic. Rockstar is never going to give us a chance to make a crap ton of money in one sitting. It's going to be a grind. GTA Online is always going to be a grind. There is never going to be a moment where it isn't a grind. So if it is a passive income, we are still going to have to, it's going to take time, much like the nightclub. But we're still going to have to do upkeep. We're going to have to, there's going to be your paywalls. There's going to be security updates. There's going to be a business update. You're going to need business goods, better staff, all those things. So those are just things you have to expect with this DLC. So getting into the whole gambling of it all, I think from the get-go, you'll be able to go in and gamble. You just won't have a room there at the casino. From the image, the GIF or whatever that they released, we see that they're going to have blackjack. We see that they're going to have roulette. They will most likely have poker. They will definitely have slots. So these are all going to be games that we're going to be able to play. My biggest issue, my biggest fear coming into this DLC, that it will either be if, say, that we gamble against the NPCs, against the house, essentially, against the game, people are going to find a way to take advantage of that. So it's all coding, right? There's going to be repetition somehow. Again, I don't know how the whole Red Dead Online thing works with poker. I think that's player versus player. I don't think you play against the NPC. But if you're playing blackjack against other NPC characters, it is going to get repetitive, and someone is going to notice that, and there's going to be money, not glitches, but essentially abuse, because someone's gonna tell you, okay, on the fifth hand, go all in, and you'll win, blah blah blah, something like that. How best way to win on the slots, Or if it's, if it is person versus person, you're dealing with poker. That's a game of skill. I'm not good at poker. I've played in Red Dead Online or on Red Dead Redemption 2. I played poker, and it just it depends on the type of poker. Like the whole Texas Hold'em style poker, I'm not familiar with, so I don't really know about that style. But like blackjack, I know blackjack. Roulette isn't really you versus another person. It's just the luck of the spin of the wheel. Slots is obviously, that's definitely a solo thing. So there's going to be different ways to work those things out. As far as people saying that there are going to be horse racing and betting on horses, I don't believe that at all, because that would entail Rockstar putting animals in GTA Online, essentially. The whole horse concept to me is just doesn't make any sense, because a lot of people have been saying how you're going to be able to buy a horse. Now, it does make sense, yes, because they put horses in Red Dead Online, Red Dead Redemption 2, so that they have the ability to do it. But for GTA Online, it doesn't make any sense. A lot of people are saying, oh, well, we're going to be able to buy horses. I could just imagine you walking down Vinewood Boulevard on your horse, and someone starts shooting, not necessarily shooting at you, but just shooting in the general area. The NPCs start going crazy, and they hit your horse. You get knocked off your horse is lying on the ground, another car hits them, and then another car, and then your horse is dead. And who are you going to call? No, you're not going to call Moores Mutual either. So therefore, they would have to come up with a new company to handle that, to get your horse back. And that's just a huge, I think, headache for Rockstar that they don't want to create. So what if it's just we buy a horse, and we can't necessarily walk it around free roam, but we can race it at the arena, at the casino. Well, that's possible, but that would be just that nobody would like that. I don't think that would be kind of dumb, honestly. And what customization can you do to a horse? You can't add engine or turbo, or you can change its saddle. You can change the horseshoes on it, maybe the reins, change the mane. Those are all stuff that they did in Red Dead Redemption 2, but again, none of that is different. When we're doing racing, we have different sports cars, we have different supercars, we have different muscle cars, we have different Arena Wars vehicles we could use. You can only change a horse so much. But if they did do racing, I could see it to where it's more of the GTA style racing, where you punch and kick to knock the other person off a horse to get a lead, or you got to jump over this, jump over that, jump over obstacles. It's not just going to be a straight up race, I don't think, at all. However, I honestly don't think we're going to have horse racing at all. And I'm sure people, well, there's a track back there. Why would they just have a track back there for nothing? They've had this thing in there for going on 6 years now for nothing. And I'm sure they've had plans to do something with it for a long time, but they haven't. So that track back there may not be for horse racing. And I've heard a lot of theories, and this makes a lot more sense to me, about go-karts. With the recent addition of the remote control RC car, it makes a lot more sense to me for them to put in go-karts in GTA Online and have us do go-kart races around that track than it does for horses. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think it would be absolutely great, hilarious to have a horse in GTA Online. I would love for them to put animals in GTA Online, but it's not going to happen. And as far as the whole betting on horse races and stuff like that, and then say it's all NPC horses and NPC jockeys, that's not going to happen, because, again, there would be an issue where I think people would take advantage of it. There'd be abuse. You bet on this jockey at this time of the day, and he'll win, blah, blah, blah. But that also comes down to how much money you can bet on certain things. The whole gambling comes down to how much money. If you can't bet more than $20,000, then, most likely, then probably, yeah, you could, maybe they will. Maybe they will have it so that you can go in all in $20,000 on a jockey or on a hand or whatever. But again, I don't think they're going to allow us to do that because of the abuse that people will have with the gambling. I've heard people make, a few of the GTA YouTubers make claims that they're probably going to tear down the casino and rebuild it, because that's what happened to the casino it's based on in real life. Um, but again, that's a lot of work for Rockstar to do. If anything, they'll just change it and we won't realize it. They'll just change the look of the casino instead of tearing it down, showing us the rubble, and then rebuilding it. That is a lot of work for them to do. A lot of coding, a lot of stuff they don't want, because this game is almost 6 years old now, guys. And not to say that they don't want to put in the work for this game anymore, but they're working on GTA 6. They're still working on Red Dead Online. They have a lot more work that they have in other places that they don't want to be spending on GTA 5. So to say that they're going to tear down the casino and we're going to see the rubble for a week or whatever, and then they'll build it new or build it somewhere else is, again, not logical, not reasonable, not realistic. Again, though, but it could be that we see all these things, these construction things outside for a few weeks, and then the day that it gets released, the casino gets an upgrade. Nothing spectacular, nothing crazy, but it gets an upgrade. So I've heard a lot of talk about there potentially being a lottery in the game, and I don't think that is gonna happen. It's not logical. It's not realistic, because there's really no way Rockstar could pick one person out of millions of people that play this game daily, weekly, whatever, and award them money. Like, that just doesn't make sense. The only way I could see this happening is if it's a free mode event. So, once a day in GTA time, so every 45, 48 minutes, whatever it is, there is a free mode event that comes out, much like the business battles and, many other things, the wheelies and the plane upside down, all that stuff, where it's going to say, you got to get to a store to buy a lottery ticket. And a winner will be picked after 2 minutes or something like that. And you will win cash, like $20,000 or something like that. It's not going to be... Well, the thing is, it's probably going to cost you $20,000 to buy the ticket. So maybe you'll win like $50,000 or $100,000 or something like that. It's not going to be millions of dollars. You're not going to win an actual lottery amount of millions or billions or anything like that. But it could also be like you win a car modification, or a discount on a car modification, or clothes, or hell, maybe they'll even give you a vehicle for free. Not any $1 million supercar or armored vehicle or anything like that, but maybe they'll throw you a bone and give you like a muscle car or something that's $30,000 for free. Who knows? Or it could be that, much like the business battles, you win goods for your warehouse or something like that. Again, that's the only way I could see them doing a lottery logically. Apparently there was some kind of casino DLC for story mode that was going to involve a heist that got cut. So most likely that's what we're going to get a lot of the content from for this DLC. Similar to the Doomsday heist, that was story mode cut content. And there's also a Sharmuta job, I think it's called, that involves Madrazo. So that could lead us to having Madrazo as our contact, as I mentioned before, for the casino DLC. I can't remember what the Sharmuta job was about, but I'm sure it involves some kind of heist or mission, something like that. As far as to when the DLC is going to come out, my personal thoughts, I originally thought it was going to come out mid-July. And Ted said that it's not going to come out in June. So that, again, that furthered my idea that it's going to come out mid-July. And the nightclub DLC was originally released when Rockstar released a teaser for it. And then a month later, the DLC came out. So, my idea is July 11th or July 18th, because Rockstar just released that GIF, a couple weeks ago, or last week. I think it was last week. So, a month from last week, which is probably about mid-July, 11th or 18th. But it's really not up to Rockstar as to when it gets released. They have to go through PlayStation and Microsoft to get it approved, and they have to go through all these loops before they can actually release the DLC. And they can't. That's why they never set a date when they tease these type of things, because they don't know when for sure they can actually put it out. I'm sure they're gonna pull inspiration from movies like Casino, Ocean's 11, a lot of other casino gambling based movies, but nothing too crazy. As far as clothing and vehicles and stuff like that go, I'm sure we're gonna get a ton of new clothing options. But a lot of it's most likely going to be content that they've had in the game for a while. They just haven't released yet. Stuff like, shirts and suits and tuxes and shoes, all new, like high fashion casino type clothing. And as far, we're going to get new masks, I'm sure, that would be involved in like the heist for us to rob the casino. And new vehicles, new supercars, new sports cars. As far as anything armored or weaponized, I'm sure they're going to come out with something ridiculous, but it probably have nothing to do with the casino, casino themed. I think when they came out with the Deluxo, that really had nothing to do with the Doomsday Heist. It was just something they threw in there. It helped it was part of the Doomsday Heist, yes, but it wasn't like something that was particularly themed to the Doomsday Heist. Like they could have released that with almost any other DLC. So I'm sure they're going to come out with a weaponized vehicle. As to what it is, I have no idea. And be ready for high-priced, overpriced clothing and vehicles and stuff like that. The clothing that came out with the Arena War DLC was ridiculously priced, like $400,000 for an outfit, which of course was locked, behind paywalls. Because if you did the Arena War, if you played the Arena War stuff, you could unlock them for a cheaper price, a trade price. But you had to play Arena War DLC for probably a month straight to unlock everything. That is the issue with this unlock stuff, because you don't know what you're unlocking. Like if they told us, level 3 you unlock this, level 4 you unlock that, that would help. But you don't know if you're going to unlock a car modification, a t-shirt, a jacket, a shoe. You don't know what you're going to unlock when you unlock something. So that gets really frustrating, and people, by the time they reach level 10 in the Arena War stuff, they're like, I haven't unlocked anything that I really want. I'm done with this crap. So I haven't made a lot of money. This is a pain in the ass to play. I'm done. And the only time they come back to it is when it's double money. Even then, I haven't played it when it was double money. So as to how much the casino is going to cost, I'm thinking about in the $5 million range. Or like the property that we're going to have to buy, not necessarily the casino itself. The property we're going to have to buy in order to access the casino is probably going to be about $5 million. If there is a VIP lounge, say we have a property that we need to do the heist, and then we get the VIP lounge. The VIP lounge will probably be a couple million. I don't think it's going to be anything too ridiculous. Just because if it's just a room at the casino where we're not really running a business out of, then I don't think it's going to cost that much. If we do run a business out of it, then that is probably going to be about $5 million. But overall, this could end up being a $50-60 million DLC with all the vehicles and clothing and stuff like that. Hopefully it's not going to be too ridiculously priced. The thing is, though, like with the nightclub DLC, the nightclub DLC was a huge DLC. The problem was, though, there was not a lot of content. The reason why the DLC was so huge was because they uploaded over 4 hours of music. All the DJ's house music and stuff that they uploaded. I just hope that with this DLC, it is a large DLC, but there's a lot of content involved. Not just the games, but other things. And, a lot of people are throwing around mansions again and tuners and stuff like that. And I would absolutely love to get those things, but I've given up on mansions. I don't think we're going to get them in GTA 5. Most likely, we'll get them in GTA 6. As far as tuners go, I don't think this is the DLC for it. A tuners DLC needs its own DLC, or if anything, they should have done with the nightclubs and called it, Midnight Club DLC or whatever like that. Just the tuners needs its own DLC, really. It has nothing to do with casinos. It doesn't fit in. I would love it if they gave us 2 DLCs in one update. So say, we go and we download the new update, we get the casino DLC, and then 3 months later, we get a different DLC that's been part of it the whole time that I'm sure the leakers will find and, tell us about and stuff like that. But I'd still be happy to get 2 DLCs out of one update. Because they're going to have drip feed content and stuff like that, so why can't they drip feed a DLC? I don't think this is the last update, the last DLC for GTA Online. While they have slowed down, they still have expressed interest in continuing to doing DLC for GTA Online. They're probably going to start doing 2 a year now instead of 4 like they were doing before, because they're focusing their efforts on Red Dead Online and GTA 6. So most likely we'll get another DLC probably in December of some sort. We're still waiting on that naval DLC with Bogdan that we were supposedly going to get. That's why I don't, as great as these supposed leakers are, I don't trust every word they say. Because even Tez himself had said that the Casino DLC was going to come out back in 2014. And here we are 5 years later, it's finally coming out. So if they say something's coming out, you can't necessarily take that as guaranteed, as solid, as 100% proof. It's just something that they've found, that they've heard, and Rockstar might decide to go a different way. There's still stuff in the game. I've seen people talk about how there's certain cars are going to come out for this DLC, and then those cars never come out. Like they show the model image that's found in the coding and stuff for the game, and what it's supposed to look like, and then they never come out. There's still cars in the game that we haven't seen yet because they haven't released them yet. For what reason, I don't know. Maybe they just couldn't get it to work right. It was too glitchy, so they just said we're not going to put it in the game yet until we can figure it out. That's why with a lot of this, these updates that we're getting, we get a lot of random T-shirts and content that has really nothing to do with the DLC itself. It's just an add-on because it's something that they've had in the game for a long time, and they're just finally now releasing it. Hopefully tomorrow when we get the week event update, we'll get some more information on the upcoming Nightclub DLC. I don't think we'll get a date just yet, again, because they're not sure as to what PlayStation, what Sony and Microsoft are going to say as far as the DLC. They may have to tweak some things because, again, this is a whole new area for like online gaming when it comes to gambling. So it's a very sensitive issue, and I'm sure they want to make sure they do it right, make sure that there's no way to abuse it, and make sure that there's no way that people are losing real money. And I'm sure that's Sony and Microsoft's, concern too. And I don't want to come out like a Debbie Downer. I don't want to be negative about the whole thing, but I've been playing GTA for almost 6 years now. I've been hyped for so many DLCs, only for them to just not necessarily hit the mark. And a lot of them have been great. They've been great ways to make money, but they weren't as great as they could have been. Like the Nightclub DLC could have been great. But it was good. It wasn't great, but it was good. The import-export could have been great, but it wasn't. But it was good. I mean, I could be wrong. Rockstar could finally be like, hey, we've made enough money with this game. Let's finally give them an opportunity to make great money. But that's not Rockstar. Rockstar is very fickle when it comes to us making money in GTA Online. Just last week, they gave us 2.5 money on robbing stores. They couldn't even give us 3x money on robbing stores, the 2.5, which was all of like $5,000 to $6,000 you made per store. I robbed every store in the game, and I think I only made like $70,000 or something like that. It was ridiculous, and it took me over an hour. It was dumb. But even with things like import-export, which are a great way to make money, you only get $100,000 per vehicle. And when they do bonus weeks, which is rare for import-export, it's rarer to get double money. Usually when they do a bonus week for it, it's like 1.25 or 1.5 money on import-export. It's rare if we get double money on import-export. And with import-export, with like every other business, you get a high demand bonus when you sell in a public lobby. With import-export, you don't. Because they know it's a great way to make money. They know we're going to make about $300,000 an hour, and they don't want to give us any extra than what we're already earning with that. Just because, again, Rockstar is just fickle. They've made billions on this game from game sales, from shark card sales. And they still just don't want to give us the chance to make money. And they're most likely not going to, unfortunately. I love this game. I do. But Rockstar is very fickle when it comes to us making money in the game. It is going to continue to be a grind. It will always be a grind. And that's just the way GTA Online is. It's the way Red Dead Redemption Online is. It's the same. It's the way Rockstar is. So if you've enjoyed this video, I would greatly appreciate it if you dropped a like. If you are new here, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload a video. Let me know your thoughts on what I've said. Let me know your thoughts on the upcoming Casino DLC down in the comments. With all that said and done, guys, I've talked a lot. So this is going to do it for the video. My name is DJCS. Have a good one, guys. And as always, don't forget to tip your DJ. Later, dudes.